Hi friends, this is your friend Navneet from Divinity World. In today's short video, we'll be talking about Indian Railways. Now, a short video may not do justice to an immense organization which employs 14 lakh people. It is the 8th largest employer in the world. In terms of railway network, its route length of 68,000 plus kilometers is the 3rd largest in the world. At 68,000 plus kilometers, it is almost 1.5 times the circumference of Earth. So you can imagine the size of the organization and the kind of operation it undertakes. Daily 2.5 crore passengers, they use its services, which is of the 18,000 trains across 7,200 railway stations, which represent Indian Railways. Now these facts and figures are usually available on internet. If you could just search for it, you'll find them easily. But in this video, we'll be talking about some interesting things about Indian Railways. Right? So let's start. Let's start with something called a double diamond railway crossing at Nagpur. Now, a diamond railway crossing may not be a unique thing, but it is found only at some 5 to 6 locations in India. For example, near New Delhi railway station, Vijayawada railway station, Kochi railway station, and Dhanbad railway station. But there is something which is totally unique, which is double diamond railway crossing, which is at Nagpur. Now, to understand what is a diamond and a double diamond railway crossing, please watch this figure carefully. In a diamond railway crossing, the rail lines cross each other into the different directions altogether. So they may not cross each other at right angles, but at some different angle. So when they cross each other, this entire space between them, it forms in the shape of a diamond. Right? So these kind of crossings are very few and are being found in the railway stations that I mentioned. But one at Nagpur is completely unique. It's totally different. So instead of 2 lines, there are 4 lines which cross each other. Right? So you have, instead of 1 diamond, you have a 2 diamond. You will get a better clarity when you watch this very short clip about the double diamond railway crossing. Please watch. Hope you enjoyed this very short clip which was being shot near Nagpur railway station. So this was a double diamond railway crossing which is not only unique in India but in entire Asia. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about stations. When we talk about stations, there is a unique thing about Indian Railways. There are 2 railway stations. One is at Srirampur and the other one is at Belapur. This is not a unique information. The unique thing about these 2 railway stations is that both of them are at the same point of the railway line just across the platforms. Yes, my dear friends, in Ahmednagar district of Maharashtra, 2 railway stations, Srirampur and Belapur, are actually situated right next to each other. Rather, right next to the platform. Right? When we talk about unique things about railway station, there is a railway station in Navapura which is situated at the border of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Now the unique thing about Navapura station is that on the platform when the train arrives, one half of the train actually lies in Maharashtra and the other half lies in Gujarat. So there is a bench. If you could see in this picture, there is a bench which is right there at the platform in which there are markings being done. So when you move on one side of the bench, you are in Gujarat. When you move at the other side of the bench, you are at the Maharashtra. And there is a line which indicates that this is the border. So that's a very unique thing which is not available at any other railway station in India. So when we talk about platform, there is one platform which has smashed the world record of being the longest platform in the world. It is Gorakhpur's platform number 1, 2 and 2A, they all are part of one single platform of the length 1.36 kilometers. Yes, my dear friends, you heard me right. A platform with a length of 1,366 meters is at the Gorakhpur railway station. Now, this platform was created not just to make a world record, but out of a need out of it. The kind of traffic that comes at Gorakhpur metro station, which also serves at the headquarters of the Northeastern Railway, it was difficult because of the space constraint. It was difficult to expand the station. So what the engineers did was that they increased the loop line. And thereby created a platform which is of such a length, right? So when we talk about stations or junctions, the most number of routes that emanate from a single junction is Mathura Junction. There are as many as 7 routes which emanate from Mathura Junction, 4 being on the broad gauge line and 3 on a meter gauge line. Also, in terms of being the busiest station in India, the record actually is being credited with Howrah station, in which every day 974 trains they arrive or they depart from. This is immense. In terms of longest route of a train station is that belongs to Vivek Express, which is between Dibrugarh in Assam and Kanyakumari in south. Total route length of 4,273 kilometers. That's immense, right? We talk about when we talk about rail journeys, we think about our childhood, the kind of enjoyment that we all used to have during our rail journeys. People like me and most of us, or some of us, actually have a very sound sleep during our rail journeys as compared to maybe even Volvo, right? There is a reason behind why you actually have a very sound sleep during railways. There's a tremendous amount of engineering that goes into making the coaches of a train. The resonance frequency of the suspension of rail coaches is set very close to 1.2 Hertz, which our bodies are most comfortable with, that is 72 beats per minute. So there is a tremendous amount of science and engineering that goes into making such kind of coaches. Now, when we talk about rail coaches, we also talk about train engines. आप जब भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे होंगे, whenever you stand at platform waiting for a train to arrive, whenever the first thing that you see is that engine chugs along into the platform along with the entire length of coaches. On the front of engine, it is written either WAP, WAG or WDM. Now, what is the meaning of that? And it's very common to find these acronyms at almost all the train engines, whether it's an electrical operated engine or it's an electrical locomotive or it's a diesel locomotive. Now, W stands for wide. That means this engine is made for the broad gauge. A stands for AC, which is alternating current. That means an electric locomotive. P stands for this engine is specifically built for passenger coaches. Similarly, WAG, wide, alternating current, which is electrical locomotive, and G is for goods. WDM, D signifies it's a diesel engine. So, in this short video, I basically tried to cover a lot of interesting facts about railways. There is some mundane other information in which railways has set records, and in 2 cases, it is now on course of setting world records. The first world record which has already been set is that because of the size of operation and the number of trains that arrive and the kind of traffic it holds, New Delhi railway station is one of the biggest railway stations in India. So, world's largest interlocking route relay system, which ensures that there is no human error as far as the incoming and the outgoing of a train is actually being situated in New Delhi. Remember, it's the world's largest inter-route locking relay system. That's number 1. Number 2, world's highest railroad bridge is at the last stage of completion, is over Chenab River in the Jammu and Kashmir. It will be at a height of 359 meters above the surface of Chenab River, right? Which is more than 45 meters above than the Eiffel Tower in Paris. So next time Now, when we get an opportunity to ride over the train, over the Chenab River, it will be a sight to behold, right? And the longest railway tunnel in India is at the Pir Panjal Tunnel, which is at 11.2 kilometers, again in the district of Jammu and Kashmir. The Bipogi Bridge over River Brahmaputra is the longest railroad bridge in India. The length of the bridge is 4.9 kilometers. So my dear friends, this was a short video on railways. Hope you have enjoyed it. Keep watching our videos for other interesting information about world. So thank you so much for watching. All the best.